From his legendary time with Black Sabbath to his ongoing solo career, these three musicians detested Australian Osbourne. Despite some controversies throughout his career, Australian heavy metal legend Osbourne has made a name for himself as the most well-known metal vocalist ever and a remarkable singer in his own right. His genuine character, sense of humor, and outstanding musical abilities have long made him relatable. When he started his solo career, AIE and his band were instrumental in defining the sound of 1980s rock and metal, aligning with American artists like Van Halen. Even after his departure, Black Sabbath flourished, hiring Ronnie James Dio as his successor and releasing the iconic album Heaven and Hell. Talent as a founding member of the first metal band, Ozzy, greatly influenced their groundbreaking early era. The first four Black Sabbath albums laid the foundation for much of the metal music that followed. Here are three songs from 1980 that highlight Osbourne's more than 50-year career, which has been characterized by disputes and a good deal of competition with other musicians. Ronnie James Dio was the Ian who detested Ozzy Osbourne the most. Up to Dio's passing in 2010, the Australian artists Osbourne and Ronnie James Dio maintained their rivalry, occasionally making fun of each other throughout the years. Tensions initially surfaced in the 1980s when Dio joined Black Sabbath in place of Ozzy. Dio's first two albums with the band received a lot of praise, and his time with Black Sabbath included the well-known albums Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. However, because of Osbourne's comments, Dio hard developed a dislike for Ozzy, not only because of their rivalry but also because he was adamant about not copying Osbourne. He was determined to avoid being seen as a lesser version of him and to reject the stereotypical portrayal of a metal musician who disrespects peers and fans. For example, in an interview from the 1980s, Dio said, "The things that Ozzy has said to me are like dueling with an unarmed man. I feel like I have a sword and he has no idea what a weapon even is. I find him to be stupid, totally devoid of intelligence, and animal." Dio continued to cast doubt on Ozzy's musical abilities, saying, "I doubt Ozzy could carry a tune even if you gave him a radio in a suitcase. I have heard this from individuals who have worked with him for 12 years, so I know for a fact." Ted Nent is one of rock music's most divisive figures, known for his direct and controversial opinions on various subjects often unrelated to his music. His name has become synonymous with right-wing views which frequently clash with Ozzy Osbourne's public image, lifestyle and beliefs. In 2002 Newent criticized the Osbourne, stating it's an indictment of the soullessness of modern man that we find entertainment in watching a magnificent creature reduced to a blithering hopeless idiot. Even 2 decades later, Newent continues to voice criticism of the Osbournes, appearing eager to undermine anything they say or do. More recently, Newent attacked Osbourne's decision to relocate from Los Angeles to England, suggesting the move was politically motivated rather than for health reasons. He remarked, "Even Osbourne is getting the hell out of Los Angeles because he'd rather live in tyrant-run England than stay in a shooting zone, a murder capital orchestrated by the court system and district attorneys." Bill Ward. Since Bill Ward stepped away from Black Sabbath's reunion in 2012, his relationship with the rest of the band, especially Ozzy Osbourne, has been fraught with tension. Their public disagreements have involved accusations and demands for apologies from both sides. When the possibility of another reunion came up 3 years later, Ward declined once more, claiming that Ozzy's abuse was the reason. He said on Facebook that his frequently false statements about me as a person and musician had made me emotionally and spiritually distant from AIE, and that his rhetoric was the cause of my greatest discord. Unfortunately, their problems remained unresolved, and the feud continued in 2015. Tensions increased when Ward posted a strong statement on Facebook demanding an apology from Ozzy. Instead of offering an apology, Ozzy responded, "Stop playing the victim and be honest with yourself and your fans. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you find this content interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the latest updates. See you in the next video."